Hello everyone, it's me, Julia, and welcome back to a new video with me. In today's video, I am doing another very highly requested Q&A. I haven't done one of these in over a year. Since then, I have now moved halfway across the planet to England. I've got a new horse, I am in university, I've finished my first year of university actually. I get so many questions in my DMs and under my comments, in my posts, and it's just really difficult for me to answer them all. So I've gathered all my most asked questions. Let's get into the video. But if I fall, I will get up again. I made a little post over on my Instagram, which is at @RideEveryStride, where you guys have the chance to comment all your questions. And oh my god, okay, I'm just refreshing my post now. And we've got over 100 questions, so that will be fun to answer. Before I get into my questions, I just wanted to clarify. I go to a university called Hartpury University. Hartpury is a sport university. What that means is aspiring professional athletes come to Hartpury to be able to study a degree on the side while still full-time training for whatever sport you're interested in. Hartpury is very well known for their equestrian support, as well as rugby, football, rowing, golfing. They support all types of sports. But Hartpury isn't just a sport uni, you can also study other things such as agriculture, vet nursing, bioveterinary sciences, animal courses. You can go to college here, you can do your A-levels here and diploma courses. But yeah, I'm here for university. I'm here because, the dream has always been turn horses into a job. So yeah, that's what I'm here for. Let's get into the questions now. One question I get a lot is, what course are you studying at university? So I am studying equine science, which is a bachelor's of science degree with an honors. It's pretty much a science-based course, so I've got a lot of different science modules such as anatomy and physiology. I've got genetics, I've got veterinary science as one of my modules. I've got a therapy module as well. I could become a nutritionist, I could go into horse dentistry, I could become a therapist, go into research, or become a professional show jumper. That's always been the dream, but you gotta have plan Bs, right? The good thing about Hartpury is that they do support you in every single way possible, especially if you are trying to get to the top of the sport you're in. So yeah, that's what I'm studying. Another question is, do you need to be from the UK to study at Hartpury? And no, you don't. I am personally not from England. I'm an international student here. I am originally from Germany, but I have grown up in the UAE. So I'm an international student. There's quite a few people from all around the world. My best friend's Australian. She's traveled here all the way from Australia. There's a lot of people from all around the world. So you do not have to be English to go here. Another question is, are there stables at Hartpury? See, this is the main reason why I'm here. So there's a very, very big and very professional yard on site at the university. So Kleck is right outside my dorm. He's a 1-minute walk down the road. I spend most of my time at the stables because one thing that's great about Hartpury is as well that they do really care about the people that have their horses here. We do have quite a bit of free time as well, and our courses do make sure that we have time for our horses, time to ride and to train. So half of my day gets dedicated to Kleck and then the other half gets dedicated to studies. I'm very, very lucky to have that here on site. Another question is, what made you choose Hartpury University? The main reason why I chose Hartpury is just because of the incredible equine facilities. I'm not gonna lie, I don't think I would be here if Hartpury didn't have a yard. You can get a degree, you can get a master's and a doctor's degree even while having your horse on site, like on campus. It really couldn't be any easier to balance studies and horses. And that brings me on to another question, which is, do you find it difficult to balance riding and university life? Well, one thing is, I'm not very social. I am social, like at the yard with my horsey friends, but I don't go out clubbing. So I think you just need to set priorities. I've always known that horses are my priority. If your horse is your priority, then you will definitely find the time for them. And Hartpury is so great because they really do make it possible that you can study while having a horse at the same time. I usually have only 3 to 4 hours of lectures a day, which is really not that much. I do spend most of my day at the stable because I just have the time for it, which is great. Are you staying in England over summer? Well, I think so. Corona has kind of destroyed most of my summer plans. So my plan was to stay at my trainer's yard to compete and train over summer, but that is not happening anymore because of Corona. and there's obviously not really any shows at the moment. And then obviously my home, the UAE, they have shut their borders, so I'm not able to actually fly home to my parents either. So I'm here at university still. Me and about 5 other students are still left here. Everybody else has gone home. But it's actually quite great because I get to use all the amazing facilities that Hartpury has to offer. And I get to focus on Kleck and myself and my riding. And now we're allowed to have lessons again, so I can, encourage that even more. Does Hartpury have dressage competitions, or is it only jumping? Hartpury actually has competitions in all 3 disciplines: show jumping, dressage, and eventing. The great thing about Hartpury is that it alternates. Every single weekend there's a show, so it will alternate between show jumping and dressage. So there are 4 shows a month, 2 dressage shows and 2 show jumping shows, and they usually are 2-day shows, which is just super amazing. It's just easy because the shows are obviously at home, so we don't have to travel anywhere to get to them. Has Corona ruined your goals for this year, and what are your goals next year? I wouldn't say Corona ruined my goals because, I'm still training, I'm still jumping, I'm just not competing. My goal for 2020 was, or still is, to jump my first 120 with Kleck. And currently we're training at 120, 125, which I'm already really proud of because that's kind of what my goal is for the year, to train at that level, now also compete at that level. But the plan was to do my first 120 over summer. That's not happening anymore at the moment, but hopefully for whenever I get out again, I could do that. 2020 isn't over yet, so I'm hoping that by the end of the year we still get to jump our first 120. And then for the year 2021, just to get really comfortable and competitive at 120s. And we'll just see, take it day by day and do a few bigger shows. I'd love to jump in the Sunshine Tour. I'd love to jump at Hickstead and the Al Shira, just a few of those bigger shows and show jumping leagues that I'd love to take part in. Another goal would be to jump my first international show because I've never actually competed internationally at like FEI level, but that would be another goal. How long did it take you and Kleck to settle into Hartpury? It did take me quite a while, to be fair, because I am very close to my family. I'm close to my sister especially, so moving away from home, like literally halfway across the planet, was quite difficult, and it did take me I'd say 2 to 3 months to get fully settled and to really find myself and find friends. Kleck was similar. He was quite difficult the first month. He was always very fresh, and the environment is just so busy, huge arenas, and the horses can be fresh, especially coming into the colder winter months. What camera do you have? It's a Nikon D3300. Sorry, just had to check on the side of my camera. But that's the one I use, and it's super amazing. I love it. It's super easy to use. How big is Kleck? Kleck is just about 16.3 hands. So he measures about 165, 66 centimeters. So that's like right between 16.2 and 16.3. On a good day, he's 16.3. What's the worst and best part about Hartpury? Okay, so the best part is definitely all the opportunities you get, especially if you want to become the best rider you can be. The facilities are incredible. You have the academy here who support you. You've got a bunch of trainers. You've got shows every weekend. So I think Hartpury does have lots and lots of opportunities. I love Hartpury. I don't really think there's anything bad about it. The one thing I would have to say is there's a lot of really strict rules, but I do think they are reasonable because Hartpury is a big yard and safety does come first. So I know a lot of people get annoyed about the rules here, but I don't know. I don't really think they're that big of a problem. That leads into the next question. What are some of Hartpury's strictest rules? So one of them would be that you have to wear a helmet at all times. I get that question all the time on my YouTube channel where people ask me, why are you wearing a helmet always? Why do you never take off your helmet? And that's just because it's a rule. You're supposed to wear a helmet when you lead your horse, ride your horse, walk the horse to the field, put it on the walker, shower the horse, give it a bath. It's just when you handle your horse, that's just a rule. Same with wearing gloves. Also, there's specific times that you need to feed your horse and be done with your horse. So in the mornings, you need to be done with all your chores by 8 o'clock in the morning. And in the evening, you have to be done by 6 p.m. You're not allowed to have headphones on the yard. You're not really supposed to listen to music when you ride. It's just little things like that, but I think they're all reasonable. What's your favorite saddle pad color on Kleck? Definitely navy. I think Kleck just looks super smart in navy. Our show set is navy too, so yeah, I just love navy on it. What do you and Kleck struggle with most when riding? I think that's a good question. I think that would probably be his adjustability in the canter. It's something that we've really been working on lately, and it's getting better, but he's still not quite as adjustable as I'd want him to be. So we do a lot of practicing where I set up a line of poles and I'll try to ride the line 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 strides just to make sure he's adjustable and he waits when I ask him to. What is Kleck like to ride? He can be difficult, especially on the flat. He doesn't really enjoy dressage and flat work that much, but he does do everything you ask as long as you ask correctly. So Kleck's a great horse to learn on, because if you ask incorrectly, he will not do it. Like, he'll refuse. So you just need to make sure you ask correctly, and then he will do pretty much anything. He will jump from any spot, any distance. He will go beautifully in an outline. He'll collect. He will sit on his ass. You just need to ask him correctly. So if I had to sum it up, he is forward, he is bouncy, and he's willing. He does try hard, and he will try for you. He will always try to please the rider. Always, always, always. What are your plans after uni? I want to do masters. So after my bachelor's degree, I really want to do maybe like a gap year where I travel or compete for a year, and then do a master's. And then after my master's, you never know what kind of opportunities might lie ahead. I would love to work for the FEI or in a like veterinary laboratory, or just compete. I mean, there's a bunch of things I'd love to do, so we'll just see what comes my way. What's the highest that Kleck has jumped previously with his old owner and with you? So with his old owner, he successfully jumped and placed all the way up to 130s. And with me, the highest we've jumped is 115. But yeah, the goal was going to be 120s over summer. Hopefully 120s by the end of the year. What app do you use to edit your videos? I use iMovie for absolutely everything. I use iMovie on my phone for Instagram, and then I use iMovie on my computer for YouTube. Are you planning on keeping Kleck long term? Yes, definitely. I am planning on keeping Kleck for a very, very long time. What's your favorite thing about Kleck? His character, that's an easy one. He's got the funniest, sweetest, and weirdest character. He's so loving, always wants attention, does not like being alone. He hates being alone. He's always very in your face. He's the type of horse that will just always want to be by your side, and that's what I love about him so much. He's just so sweet. He doesn't bite, he doesn't kick. That horse would, I don't even think he knows how to pin his ears back at anything. So yeah, I love that about him. How do you get the confidence to jump so high? I think a big thing about confidence is having a good trainer that you trust, and obviously trusting your horse. I do know that Kleck would never, I mean, fingers crossed, he just doesn't stop, so I do trust him a lot, and I can 100% rely on him. And then just working your way up. I've been jumping for a few years now, and I haven't always been jumping this big. I mean, there's so many people out there that jump a lot bigger than me. If you want to build your confidence, I think a great exercise to do are grids or long lines, where you don't really have to focus about getting the right distance, and you can focus on your position and just your confidence over the bigger jumps. Would you ever event Kleck? No, thank you. Eventing is not for me, especially cross country. I'd rather stay alive. What range of riding standards are there at Hartpury? That's a good one. A lot of people seem to think that you need to be like really good to go to Hartpury. You really don't. So if you want to go to Hartpury, you don't need to have a horse. You don't need to know how to ride. Is Hartpury expensive? I definitely don't think it's cheap, especially if you're an international student. I pay like 3 times as much as an English citizen would. So yeah, I do think it's quite expensive. Do you recommend Hartpury University? Yes, I do. I love it. I think coming to Hartpury has been one of the best decisions I've made in my life, and I am super, super happy here. I'm not being paid to say any of this. A lot of people think that I make these type of videos to advertise Hartpury, which I don't. I don't get paid at all. This is my honest opinion, and I do love it here. Is it hard to get into Hartpury? Not really. Would you ever get another horse? Yes, I would love to have a second horse here at university. Maybe for like my 3rd year here or my master's year, I'd love to have another horse alongside with Kleck. Kleck is not going anywhere. Also, only if I can financially afford it, because I definitely, if I get a second horse, I would want to pay for it myself and not have my parents be involved in that payment at all. And that was it. I think I answered almost all the questions that you guys asked me, and if you guys have any more questions, leave them down below in the comments. I'm gonna answer a few of them in the comments as well, and maybe film a part 2 very soon. I hope I could answer your questions and maybe made your decision about coming to Hartpury a little bit easier. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you guys want to see more of Kleck and I. Thank you so much for all your love and support. It really means the world to me, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!